Hey, everybody out there in the Team Cardboard community. This is Michelle. I am joined by Dave and Sean this afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, surprise. We're live. Semi-unplanned. Surprise even to us. We've been a little bit slow on content in May following our kickoff in April, so we thought we'd jump in and look at these Spiel Jahres nominees for 2021, talk about those games a little bit, what looks good to us, just have a little bit of conversation. If you are joining out there in cyberspace, you should be able to send comments to us as well. So I'm going to share my screen, I hope. Oops. Already technical difficulties. All right. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen. And we'll just jump right into it and start looking and talking about games, which is what we are ultimately here to do. All right. So here are the nominees. The first one is The Adventures of Robin Hood. It's a Cosmos game, and I believe this one is not yet available in the US.
Not as of yet, as far as I know.
Let's I've got a different game queued up here on BGG, but let's see if we can find
I like the idea of it.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Here we go. Adventures of Robin Hood from Cosmos, designed by Michael Menzel.
Oh, he makes good stuff.
Yeah, I love Andor.
Yeah.
Also, he's also the artist, I guess.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Looks like fairly light game, 1.74 on a weight. So, let's see what else it can tell us. Let's look at some pictures, shall we?
Yeah, I watched an unboxing today, and the storybook looks like it's a hard covered book. Like, I was kind of blown away by the component quality it looked like, but
how that map reminds me of like Stonehenge.
Yeah,
so detailed. Really.
Is this the storybook, do you think, in the background?
I think it is. Yeah. Well, and the map is cool too. I don't know. It's got little pieces you like take out and flip over for different stories and stuff. Like you can see little tiles there that you take out, flip over, and it changes based on how you're playing it. I guess it looks pretty cool.
It almost looks like reminds me of an advent calendar.
Yeah.
Except one that makes things license on fire.
Right.
Dave, any idea when this is coming to?
That's what I was actually just looking up. I have it on pre-order. I just don't know what the date is right now. I need my computer to work here.
Darn those publishers in there.
I know.
Players take on the role of Robin Hood and his companions, with the action taking place on a living game board. So I guess that's what we're seeing with those little advent calendar like pop-up pieces.
Oh, clever. You like rip something off and it's changed forever, huh? All right.
Board changes over the course of each outing, and the movement of the characters is handled by an innovative mechanism that uses different wooden pieces. Well, I know Dave will
shows September 12th is the date that they're saying. So take that for what it is.
Sounds like a Gen Con release to me.
Yeah, it does. Sounds like it.
Here's their official. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that book. The book, like when he pulled the book out, and maybe it's not a hardcover. Maybe it just made it look really like one, but it looked like one when he opened it. I was kind of blown away by that.
Yeah, it does say it narrated in the high quality
hardcover book. Oh yeah, look at
that.
Look at that.
Yeah, it looks cool. I don't know too much about because all the videos I could watch and stuff, no one showed too much because spoilers. So,
right.
But yeah, it looks interesting.
And I already regret doing this video because I'm even gonna
I'll set one aside for you.
Yeah. Well,
Must have it game night.
So this is where, from like a diversity standpoint, that I get a little bit torn, because like Robin Hood actually appeals to me greatly. Like I love the Legend of Robin Hood. It's really, it's cool. Like the whole concept of, robbing from, stealing the rich from the rich and whatnot.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm very kind of a sucker for it. This is a very dude orientated, lore.
Sure.
It's not like strong females or whatever, unless of course they change some of it. There's only one female character really, but that's okay. We have room for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just more about who's playing the game too, who's at the table.
Yes. Agreed.
So I kind of was steering away from this because I already do have a Robin Hood game in my collection. What is Robin Hood and the Merry Men? Is that what it's called? I'm looking around.
Okay.
I have no idea. It's the tower defense one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Came out a couple years ago. And it's a great game, but is it brutal? It is just brutal, but it's a totally different mechanically. This looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks, gameplay wise, it looked a little different too. Like movement, I don't know how much you looked into it, but movement, like the little pieces are certain lengths, and to move, you like put them together, and that's how far you move on the map. Like it's almost a war game kind of movement.
Interesting.
In mechanic and mechanism. So yeah, but
and it does. I'm just clicking through to see how much text there is. And so, I mean, there's obviously some text. This looks like the best picture of the play area. I'm not seeing a whole lot of.
It didn't look like there's too much on the board, but obviously the book is.
Yeah.
It's all about the book, and it's all what the story is telling you, and so.
I'm just wondering if, because this is competitive, right?
No, I think it's co-op.
It's a co-op. Okay.
I think all the Spiel Jahres this year are co-ops.
I did hear. You know what? I guess I did hear that. So this is something that if you had folks in your group that, younger players or vision impaired or reading difficulties, that you could, support each other that way. So
yes.
The year of the co-op. I like it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Going to be difficult for folks who hate co-op games.
I was going to say, not a great year for you, Michelle. But
no, I like co-op games.
Actually. Oh, I didn't think you. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's someone else. Okay, yes, that's right.
Yeah, I won't name.
Yeah, we won't out them.
I won't name names, but there are.
But they know who they are.
But you know who you are. But also support that. I want to. I won't get too far into the rabbit hole, but we did. I did play a game on this last weekend with somebody who normally does not like co-op games. And we played Burgle Bros 2.
Okay.
Because this person was willing to try it. And, I think co-op games have come a ways, and that the design is responding to that, not wanting to be, not wanting to lend themselves to the alpha gamer as much.
Right.
Granted, a game can't fix the problem of someone being a jerk.
Well, never, but.
Right. But I think there is some response there. I don't know. What do you think about that, Sean?
I always find that co-ops always struggle with that balance. For me, it was more power or information you could give an individual player that was unique to them via a player card or a deck of cards or something. In my opinion, that always helped out on the AP and also on the Alpha Gamer. Because, the first time somebody was like, oh, you should go here and do this, you can look at your powers and go, or I could cash this in and do this. And that always helped. But a lot of games don't do that. Like Pandemic didn't do that. And I think that's why it suffered so much.
Yeah.
But Legacy did a better job of it.
Legacy did a much better job, especially Zero for us. Like, because I don't know if you guys have played it at all, but
I haven't played Zero yet.
There's so much going on, and individually, your individual powers and abilities are so varied that there was just no way to say we couldn't even give each other advice of like, oh, you should do. Well, I don't know what you can do anymore. Like,
wow.
It was like
That's really interesting. That's really intriguing.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and the same player that I'm talking about with Burgle Bros said that that she actually tended to like co-op games if they did have a trader mechanism.
Okay.
Because she felt like something like Battlestar Galactica, because she felt like that gave her a crutch to say like, well, you don't know, I don't know what you're doing, you don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
So no, we can't take each other's advice, or
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorites. I love
it's such a great game.
Oh man, we have to play then, Sean. I love that game. It's so good. It's the best. Okay, but Adventures of Robin Hood, yeah. I'm both happy and sad that we looked at this now.
Your shopping cart with Dave just got bigger.
Yeah. Let's put on my tab, Dave.
All right, fair enough.
All right. And then let's see. Macro Crime City is the next one. Well, that sucker up here.
Which I'll admit I had missed completely. Like I totally failed on this one, but
this is another co-op.
Nope.
Another lighter weight, which is typical, right, of the Spiel des Jahres stuff.
It's also 1 to 3 players, right? And
it's 1 to 4, but
okay, I thought I said 3.
Community hasn't rated it yet for 4. It looks like. I could see where, because of the nature of this, so let's look at it. You're looking at the map, and if you have 4 around it, I guess.
Right.
Because this map's going to be. You're looking at this map, this Where's Waldo map to try and solve these 16, I think it was, different crime cases together. So, okay, one of 2 things. So, Sean, have you heard of Mystery House?
I have.
Okay, so I bring that example up because Dave and I have both played it. We have a kind of a shared set between us, and we've played all the content that's available. And we played it here. I played it with Jared and Jenny, so we played it mostly, 3-player.
That's all I played it with too. Is 3
players. Well, yeah, I feel like 3 is a good number.
Yeah.
For those kind of games. 4 players, I could see where these kind of games get kind of convoluted.
Yeah.
It's just one more voice.
Well, and I don't know, remember who I was watching that made the comment of like, if you have more than that, when someone says, oh, here it is, and you all gather around that one area, if you have too many people, you can't really see what's going on, or, so.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
So.
Yeah.
But more eyes might mean more, I don't know. It's hard to, I don't know.
Is that like a little magnifying glass? The little thing? That's crazy.
So it is a giant map. It's a big paper map.
Yeah.
16 cases. We also saw those envelopes of cards.
Sure.
And there's a ton of expansions for it too already. I think there's 3 or 4 expansions for it.
I think so, yeah.
And if you can see here, it's been nominated for... It was nominated for a lot of the Golden Geek awards as well. I heard some other reviewers talking about this earlier this year. I was just looking to see if they had. It's been reviewed a ton of times too.
Yeah,
but
it looks fun to me. Like I've enough so that I tracked it down and got some in. So, or hopefully we'll be getting some in. So, but yeah,
it's overall ranked already up at 533.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's fast.
That was fast. Yeah. For a game that.
Well, and it looks like it's a good one for families too. Like I think I could easily play this with the kids because it's, looking around and finding stuff. And so, but.
You obviously don't have a colorblind issue with this. It's all
no, because it's all black and white. Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. When I first heard about this in about September or so, I was talking with our housemate and said, it looks like a really cool game. Like I could see where people would have fun with it. I don't think it would be great for me because with my neurological issues. Like,
right. I think with my wife, it might be difficult too because she's a blind spot, so it might be more frustrating. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, with my migraines and stuff, I think I'd probably try to avoid it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. The problem is I have to talk myself out of, because it looks like a lot of fun. So I have to talk myself out of trying to get a copy and playing it, and then.
Well, I'm certain I'll have one. You can borrow mine. How about that?
Right, there you go.
See if you like it, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. But I think for like non-gamers too, right? First of all, I hate that term, non-gamers.
I know.
It obviously describes something that people understand, but I can't imagine anyone who wouldn't understand how to play this, right?
It seems like it, yeah.
It's accessible. So. Is this fairly affordable too?
I think so. I think it's going to be like $30, $20-$30, something like that.
Yeah. For 16 plays, so
yeah,
a couple bucks a play, and obviously it would fall into that same category for folks that like escape rooms and mystery solving and that kind of thing. Which those things tend to cost like $30 a person. So
right,
definitely more affordable. This is like a year behind though. If this had come out at the beginning of COVID.
Oh geez.
Which it probably did though, right?
Well, and terrible timing there, right?
Yeah, right.
Game to all get together with.
Right. Yeah. Oh, too bad.
All right. Well, macro, infinite expansion possibility too. Really.
Yeah, maybe.
Theming.
I don't know. Well. It depends on. I mean, I don't know. One of the things that fascinates me about this game is that they, the map is one big picture,
right?
And they've created all these cases based off of that picture. So I don't know. Can you keep? I don't know how far they can go with it.
Yeah, can you keep drawing new pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a system.
Nope.
And then, well, that's not a spoiler at all because I can't read that. So hopefully that's not a spoiler for someone who can. But yeah, just look at that. That's amazing.
Wow. That is an intense looking map.
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
I just went blank for some reason.
No, we can hear you.
Okay.
Cool. All right, what's our Zombie Teens?
Zombie Teens, yeah.
The third nominee.
Which I've played.
These are the finalists, right? These are the top three. They'll pick one from these three.
Yep, these are the three finalists, I believe. Yeah.
Because I remember seeing like a top 5 or 6 not too long ago, and I do recall seeing all 3 of these, but I thought we were looking at all 6 because those were the first 3 I saw, and I'm like, wait a minute, I think these are all finalists.
They've narrowed it down to these 3. I think they've got the others, the recommendations listed below it too. But these are the top 3, so they are all 3 cooperative.
Yep.
I wonder if they'll postpone it. Do you think they'll postpone announcing it? Because historically they've always done it, in mid-August, right around Gen Con time.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that seems to be kind of perpetually changing with the announcements this week of was it Asmodee that pulled out of physically appearing at Gen Con?
Yeah, it's going to be there's a lot of people
change.
There's there's a number of them that are
it's a kind of a rolling evolution of that stuff. It's all happening so fast I don't even really feel like I have time to form an opinion or know where I feel. I know I'm vaccinated. That's about all I know.
Yeah, same here. But I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Teens.
So I've played the predecessor, Zombie Kids.
Zombie Kids, which is
and my kids played it. It was okay. I mean, it's a family game, but more so than obviously it doesn't belong in the Kinderspiel. It's a little more than that, but so it was fun. I enjoyed the first one.
And I don't think I'd shy away from playing something called Zombie Teens. if it's a good game, which I am going to automatically assume that it is worth giving a shot if it's a Spiel des Jahres. But yeah, I don't know.
It's decent. Like I said, I don't know if I would. I don't know. I just as personally, I'm not sure there's enough there to interest me in another round of it. I don't know too much about this update, so. But
yeah, it's I mean, from what I understand, it's obviously it's cooperative, like we said, dice chucker.
Yeah, it is a legacy.
Yeah, which is cool. So it'd be I feel like maybe one of the opportunities is if you've got kids, maybe even, gosh, it's so hard to nail an age to.
Oh, absolutely.
To kids entry level gaming, but even as young as 6 or 8 coming into it that want to play stuff. I know my friends.
Well, and that's
Wingspan, but
right. Well, and my kids played with my best friend's kids, and that was 8, I think was the youngest, 6, 7, I don't know, something. So younger, and they all enjoyed it. With guidance. It took a little bit, but yeah, I mean, they enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like the idea of a legacy game that has age-appropriate content.
Yep. Well, I like the characters that they've done. There's some good inclusivity in the characters that you can play. So
yeah, I mean, not that anything in, well, I don't know. Pandemic Legacy Season 1 might be a little bit much for some kids.
Yes.
For content. I know a lot of folks, not that it's any judgment on folks who do play that with their kids, because I know a lot of people have a lot of success playing Pandemic Legacy with their kids, but it's a little bit just intense for some folks as far as the horror content.
Agreed.
This looks like a little bit more of a on kids level.
It is. The zombies are just they're very cartoony. Like it's.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And I could see a family that is just walking into a local game store or online at something like Time Well Spent, or for example, or anywhere that if they're not used to picking up a board game and learning it, this is obviously going to be a better entry point than
Pandemic
Pandemic Legacy.
Agreed.
Not that they can't learn that either, but this is going to be a little bit easier to learn, I imagine.
Yes. And it's one that because at least again, Zombie Kids was the first game or two was very, very simple, and it slowly added things as you went. So
yeah, like it's got the short play time.
Yes.
It looks good.
It is a very short game.
And it's up pretty high already on the family ranking, so that's good.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's a perfect family game.
Yeah, this one would be a tough sell for me and my nieces. But they're a tough crowd. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of it's an interesting target audience. I don't know where they're going for because it's more than the Kinderspiel stuff.
Yeah.
It's but not anyone a little older than 12, 11. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think it'd be too simple. So I don't know
right.
where they're shooting for this one, but.
And it's because it is a simplification of a full-blown, legacy co-op versus just like, when I think of a kids game, I've got games on my shelf that might be considered kids games, like Ice Cool or Draftosaurus or a lot of the dexterity games and stuff.
Dr.
Like
Eureka.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Mikey and I were joking the other day because we were sitting around playing a bunch of lighter games and, we're giving each other a hard time about it. You're just sitting around playing kids games. And we're like, yeah, we are, But so that always begs the question of what exactly is a kids game?
Right.
And this for sure, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth, this is what I would think of as a kids game.
Yeah.
something that's designed specifically for that demographic.
Yeah, what are they saying the age is for? I can't quite read that. Is it
8 and up.
8 and up. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. And it like says so. It's so difficult to nail down what does that even mean? Because like Liv's first game was when she came up to our game group table that was getting ready to play Vegas Showdown, and she asked if she could play, and we said, yeah, sure. The rule is just you're gonna we'll help you, but you have to sit through the game.
Right.
And she proceeded to sit through Vegas Showdown and not lose.
That's a great game. Oh my
God. It is.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I don't think Vegas Showdown probably complexity-wise is that much heavier than probably this is.
No.
So, but it's certainly not a quote-unquote kids game.
Right.
Right. So, and then from there she went to play that same summer she was playing Power Grid, which is certainly heavier. But, nice. So what does that mean, kids game? But
yeah, who knows? I don't know what I
always thought My Little Scythe would be a bit too much for people, but then like I saw it played by a bunch of younger preteens, and I was like, wow, they all understand it and get it, and I think they did a really good job with that one. That's a pretty good game.
That's a great game. I almost like that better than Scythe. Like,
Funny.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I would definitely play it though. So
yeah.
I don't know if that.
It does feel like a streamlined Scythe.
It really is. It's the things I really like about Scythe in, I don't know, 35, 45 minutes. I don't know how long it's supposed to play in, but it's under an hour, I feel like. So
that's awesome.
I really enjoyed it.
Let's see what else. So this was the recommendation list then. Are these these are the other games that were nominated, I think, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So let's see.
Which I don't know.
I'm not. Oh, I love these stupid games. So this is the BIS 20. So Dave Jones used to import all of these titles.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is where Cockroach Poker came from.
Yes.
Right. Right. And so I requested a copy of Cockroach Poker. I don't remember even why.
Because it's Cockroach.
Because it's great.
We had played it, and this was back, like way back. And I think Dave Jones actually recommended it. So I got it for Christmas or something one year, and then we brought it out at a very small convention that I used to run called MagnaCon. That was like a fundraiser. And
was that like pre this last election or?
Yeah, Magna, not.
Okay.
Magna.
Checking. Just checking.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it was a charity convention for an inner city community center, so it was definitely had an extra letter in there.
Good. Glad you clarified.
Yeah, and we broke it out there, and then it was one of those games that sometimes like spread through a convention like wildfire because it's just like this goofy fun.
Yeah.
But so I have like a whole ton of these games. But this
one, that one year at maybe it was Con on the Cob out in Ohio, and it was Coyote. The year Coyote came out.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was obsessed. I'm like, this is Indian poker. Like people play it with a deck of cards for years. I'm like, they put headbands and a deck of cards in a box, but so.
Right. Or another one was Poo, the game about monkeys
throwing
poop at each other. So this one is BIS 20. So BIS obviously means count.
Count.
You count from 1 to 20 together
with different rules. Huh.
Yeah. So a lot of these games, like there's cockroach salad and cockroach soup and they're essentially like bar games, right? That they've repurposed. Interesting. But the art is unmistakable from this.
Oh, yeah.
this publisher. And a lot of them are just so goofy that they're hard to get people to play.
Right.
Cheating Moth. Have you played that one? So it's this, I think it's the same publisher. It's a shedding game, trick taking shit, try and get rid of your cards. And the rules are every turn you have to play one card to the middle of the table. Kind of like Uno style, like, above or below, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But also your goal is to get rid of all your cards, but you can also cheat, right? So you can. The only rule is you can't cheat to the middle of the table. So you can drop them, whatever, put them up your sleeve. However, but one person starts out as the guard bug, and if they catch you, then you become the guard bug. And they have a slightly different, set of rules, but it's another way to get rid of your cards. And so we've devised a whole method of cheating moth tricks, including like you go put on a hoodie as soon as you're going to play that, because you can, tuck them into the hoodie, and
Nice.
But that's that same publisher, Dry Mage.
Yeah.
Interesting. Chakra.
I haven't heard of
The only thing I know about Chakra is that it's say 2 to 4 players. I think this is on Board Game Arena. Female artist. Each player is a board that shows the 7 chakras they must fill with gems that represent the energy flowing to their body. Yeah, so it looks like another kind of a set collection, and that looks like somebody's art that they did with it. Let's see if we can get. It's definitely a very visually appealing game.
Super
might have to,
great production value. Holy smokes.
Yeah. We might have to, looks like maybe a couple different versions of this. I think I saw this on a list of like games with like Takedo. I can't remember what else was on it, but how people refer to Takedo as like a relaxing game, which is a really weird concept until you play Takedo. It's not like, doesn't feel super competitive.
I found that tree game thing really good that way. The one where you have the trees and you drop the acorns and the leaves and all that stuff.
Yes.
I found that one to be very relaxing.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But yeah, we might have to try this on a board game. It's definitely on Board Game Arena. I just haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Nice. Yeah, I'd try this. This looks good.
Collect gems and place them. Let's see what else. Point salad. I think
it's actually called Point Salad. I actually remember this one from somewhere.
I just played this on Saturday. This is a great game. So how this game works is, let me see if I can find a
good filler, huh?
Yeah, so you have these double-sided cards, and on one side you can see like there's these scoring sets. So and then in the corner there's pictures of what's on the other side, which are vegetables. And it's a drafting and set collection. So on your turn you get to pick. You can either pick up a scoring card or you can pick up a couple of vegetables. I'm trying to see if they have an actual picture of this setup. There we go. Looks like not English, but this is actually fairly language independent. You could get this in any language and still play it. So the top row is all scoring cards, and then this is the market below it. So you can either pick up one of the scoring cards and place it in front of you, or pick up any two of the vegetable cards and then put it in your sets. And then at the end of the game, you just score all your vegetables against each of your scoring cards. And you do have the opportunity to convert your scoring cards into vegetables throughout the game if you end up not liking them. But we've played it with, it plays 2 to 6, and it scales really well because you just take out, X number of each card for the player counts.
Okay.
But I've not yet played this with someone who doesn't like it, and it seems like every time we play it, we end up playing it twice in a row.
I feel like I saw this last year at Gen Con. Did AEG do this?
I believe so. That sounds. Let's see if that. Yep.
I see the little shield. Perfect.
Look at that.
Okay, and that must be where I saw it. I must have saw it.
I mean, this thing's been published in a bunch of different languages.
Yeah.
By several different publishers. Yeah, it's a really good game.
I'm gonna have to play it with an actual group sometime. I think I just got the demo.
Yeah, it's super fun, simple. Anybody could play it. You get your folks that don't normally play games.
Cool. And this one's on the recommended list?
Yeah, I think it was must have been one of the nominees, but didn't make it.
Oh, right. Like it was in the top 10 and then didn't make the cut. Sure.
Yep. Switch and Signal. I don't think oops.
Sounds like it's a train game, but
It sounds like a train game. Dun, it's a train game.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's a 45-minute train game from Cosmos.
Nice. I was like,
cooperative train game.
Which one is it?
It's a cooperative.
What? Can't have a cooperative train game. I must compete.
I know.
How will we score Puffing Billy points if I can't compete?
Huh. I was just ready to be like, okay, it's a train game, but it's a cooperative train game. That's.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another cooperative train game?
I can't think of a one. I mean, I can think of that Rio Grande one I used to play all the dang time with the little sticks for railroads, but that's not cooperative.
Well, the trains are actually true pick up and deliver. They're like molded.
That's pretty cool.
Put the cube in.
Huh.
I better stop looking at this.
Oh yeah, this might be on my short list.
I mean,
looks pretty cool.
That's just intriguing by itself. Cooperative train game.
Where's Dave? We need Dave to order it. Oh, we lost Dave.
Oh, he's trying to come back.
There's Dave. He's knocking.
Yeah, sorry about that. My computer just kind of.
No worries.
Perfect timing. You need to order Switch and Signal.
Switch and Signal.
What's funny is I was just looking because I could hear everything. I was just watching, so I am in. Looking it up.
Going yes.
The universe was trying to.
No, yeah.
I just sold 2 copies of Switch and Signal.
3, one to myself.
We're the worst. We're all the worst.
I'm trying to. All right, let's see if they have anything at the official site. Look, there we go. English. A ghost is haunting Europe. It's the good old railroad. I was going to be really excited if it was a haunted train, cooperative train game.
You said it was Cosmos, right?
Yeah. Ooh, it has event cards. That's exciting. I love event cards. That's always cool. Like that's always, by the way, Sean, my number one recommendation for if people are like, what would you add to this game? It's always event cards would be cool.
Nice. Old-fashioned event deck. Eh?
Yeah, like that always changes things up. Interesting.
I'm gonna have to look deeper at this.
Yeah, it looks like they have the complete rules are on the link that you can get to through BGG. So,
Nice.
interesting. It's 45 minutes, which is a good length, I think, for a co-op too.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on how are they going to make this co-op, but and I must know.
I don't know. I mean, this is almost, there's playthroughs already up here too. Here's North American availability. Let's see what they say.
Yeah.
State. As of January, they were not going to release it in North America. What?
I'm outraged.
Cannot believe. All right, so please join the Team Cardboard campaign for Switch and Signal. Wow.
We have a sign-up list below.
Yeah. Cosmos, if you're watching,
click right here in the comments.
We've already got a distribution chain right here in this video.
Yeah, right.
Please reach out to Mr.
I'll import it, Dave will sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing. No, I can't imagine why this would not be an immediate seller in the US too.
Gosh, especially being on the recommended list too.
Right.
Yeah,
you would think any of the Spiel Jahres stuff recommended, that whole list would just immediately spread it out as far as they can. So it's interesting that they are not.
And then the key. Did I lose my keyboard here?
If you're listening, Cosmos, MrBGames.com.
Apparently, I lost my keyboard, so I have to just
the key
go with clicking. I think my keyboard needs to be charged. But so, is there an English? There is.
Sabotage in the Lucky Llama Land.
I believe this is like a. Oop! It didn't work.
Looks like there's a couple. That's which one? Sabotage the Lucky Llama Land, huh?
I think they're like a family weight.
Because there's a couple others here too.
Mystery kind of game, from what I understand. But I can't really look at more because apparently my keyboard is not responding. So.
Well, it's not.
It's trying to protect me from.
It's save your wallet.
I guess so. I don't think. Yep. And then Sing from Haba.
No, I think that's Thomas.
Or no, that's Thomas Sing. I was like, what? No. Then we go into the Kinderspiel, which I always at least take a look at.
Well, I'm positive. I mean, just by title, Dragamino's got to be a King Domino.
It is. Yeah, it's the kids' version of King Domino, which
that's genius.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It seems. I mean, it looks interesting. But young kids, because like my kids played King Domino just fine at like 6 and 8 or whenever it came out. I guess it was a couple years ago, but. So, yep.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if I had little kids that wanted to play something on their own, that would be an easy one to go to because I know I could teach them, and I think the art looks great. And I could buy that off the shelf without even knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's not going to be a lock, right?
Right.
Although I am curious to look at Mia London because Antone Wright is the Seven Wonders creator, so that would be interesting to see him do a kids game.
I've played it. It's fun. It's almost I don't know the best analogy. There was a game a while back called Mystery Train, I think.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But there was one part where you had to flip through cards, and then you just had to kind of pay attention to what was missing.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that's basically what it is that there's 4 different categories of what kind of hat is he wearing, what kind of glasses is he wearing, what kind of mustache is it, and what kind of bow tie is it. And it's flipping through, and you can mix up the challenge, however, by just how fast you flip. And then you have these little kind of like these cool little books that you flip over what you want, you lock in your guess, and then at the end of the game, you all reveal, and whoever gets it right wins. So, but if nobody gets it, you all lose. So,
cool.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's a good kids one. So,
I have to skip forward to click on this Inspector Nose link.
Inspector Nas. Is he like the rapper Nas? Or that's Nose, right? Inspector Nose.
Yeah.
How do I say what I know without saying? Secretly memorize 1 of 5 pictures and roll dice and try to choose a dice symbol that describes the picture you're looking for. That actually sounds like
interesting.
Almost like a combination of just one and what was the one?
Dixit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds actually kind of like, this sounds like something I would consider buying for my nieces that I buy games for. Again, like I think when I think about kids games, I want to buy stuff that they're going to be able to play by themselves fairly easily.
Totally.
After somebody teaches them how to play it.
Right. Ones that they can sit down with their friends and play where you don't have to try to teach everyone. Yeah.
Right. Because, like the last thing I want to do is buy a kid a gift that is going to force their parents who don't play games to play it with them.
Play games.
Right.
Because if the kids are interested in games, I want them to be able to access those games whenever they want.
Right.
Which is, a big part, I think, of when I think of accessibility. It's kind of a big word that means a lot of things to a lot of people. But for me, when we're talking about games, I'm thinking, what might stop somebody from playing a game, right? So,
right.
And right now that, physical accessibility, when we think about, maybe folks who are blind, that is absolutely an accessibility issue. But that's one that I can't personally, I can support it, but I'm not equipped to support it, as well as things like helping kids get access to games that they can play on their own, or helping get a game to a low income person that expresses to me that they're interested in playing games but can't afford them. If a blind person expresses to me that they'd like to play a game, then I have to kind of rely on them to tell me how I can help them access the game, which I'm absolutely willing to do, but it's not my level of, it's not my area of expertise. So yeah, I think if we think about accessibility that way, of how can we help people who want to play games be able to play games, that there's like a lot we can do sometimes.
Agreed. Because
there's a lot of people out there that want to play them. There was that survey that came out this week too. Somebody, who was it? I think Tanya Paboda put out some research. Like, she did doctorate level research about who actually wants to play games demographically. And there was a lot, there's some surprising information in there, which I just think speaks to that too. We always say this is like a straight white male's hobby, which it's dominated by straight white males, right? But
right.
the hobby doesn't belong to anybody.
No.
So, but I think some of the data out there suggests that there's lots of people who want to play games, but why aren't they able to play games?
Right.
And the reason is access. So,
Very true.
But not to bring this all the way to a serious level, but we just did. Which is so if we go all the way back up to the top of this Spiel is our website before we sign off here. I didn't know this before I started looking at their website again with this broadcast, but they do have their own initiative of playing for tolerance, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's super.
Yeah, that is real cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that either. That's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely new for this year, but it's great timing, right?
Yeah. Well, this is the year to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're as a hobby not responding to the events of the last year, then I don't know what people are going to respond to. Frankly, I mean,
yeah.
I used to use the analogy at shows. We would tell people we want everyone to try our games, all ages, shapes, sizes, right? Because too many times, I can remember other hobbies, and I always use the analogy of like people that used to build models. It just died as a hobby because they never included new people. They never came and brought more people into the fold that got into that kind of stuff. And I kind of see painting miniatures that way. That's kind of been a not very inclusive thing. And it's as people grow and come into it, why would younger kids or people from low income housing get into Games Workshop miniatures? That's too big of a barrier to entry.
Right.
But they get into some some of these other low cost miniatures, and maybe they can, but I always liked how Denver Comic Con had Pop Culture Classroom, and they allowed people to come and paint things and take them away. And I always felt like those were things that were really important to open people's minds and eyes to look at all this cool stuff. And
agreed. Yeah.
Like you said, Michelle, during the pandemic, like people came and played online. I mean, I never used to host games online, our stuff, and during the pandemic, we just retooled to put everything we could on Tabletopia because we could at least access people and teach them stuff and have some laughs in a terrible time. So
yeah. Well, what I really think is interesting about, or it speaks to me about the playing for tolerance statement, and what's been really important to me in working with our team at Team Cardboard to design our statements is, and there's been a lot of discussion about similar statements and viewpoints in the hobby is, when we talk about inclusion and diversity and access, this idea that everybody is welcome and we can all hold hands and let's give the world a Coke and teach everybody to sing and all that stuff. I'm not going to speak for the two of you, but I will speak for myself, and I will speak on behalf of Team Cardboard as an entity. I do think we have to draw some lines in the sand, and some of that's not helping anybody. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And what I like that Playing for Tolerance has done here is that they've really spelled out, and they've said that, I'll just read it. In our society, racism and xenophobia are becoming increasingly more widespread. And then they go on to explain that where they stand on things, and they just say, for the vocal minority who stubbornly refuse to abide by these standards, I have just one answer: I won't play with you. And I've personally run into some flack about setting standards and boundaries, and you do have to be careful because not everybody will agree with you, and we want to not go too
Right.
too far. But I think when you say the standard is that we want to be inclusive and we want to make sure that we are reaching, like you've said, the widest audience we can to keep the hobby alive, that we're saying that we will exclude folks who would do harm to others simply on the basis of being that xenophobic or racist or bigoted or whatever. And that's why those statements of like we just want everyone to get along are harmful, because everyone just getting along on the surface
buries the issue.
And that's how
Agreed.
That's how violence continues. That's how racism continues. That's how sexism continues, is because when everybody's just getting along, they aren't actually getting along. Right. And that's, status quo keeps going. So, I would encourage people to continue voicing concerns and raising issues and having conversations. And folks who would, I saw some stuff today in response to a statement from a game designer who made some tough decisions that said, if you don't like it, just keep playing Tussie Mussy, a game about flowers, which is a great game, by the way. So to degrade the game by like that too is BS. But if you don't like, tough themes, keep playing Tussie Mussy and shut up. And it's like, well, if you don't agree with the decision, maybe just respect the decision and move on. We don't have to belittle and degrade, and frankly, it becomes a statement of violence at that point. So, I hope everyone understands the difference between things like boundaries and intolerance and etc., and keeps having these conversations.
Yeah,
that is 100% agreeable to me. Yeah, absolutely.
I think where people struggle is the it's not an argument of getting along or seeing eye to eye. It's a boundary, and if somebody says stop, you stop. If somebody says I don't want to do this anymore, I don't. Or it's just respecting that as opposed to let's have a debate. Why? It's not open for debate.
Right.
And it shouldn't be. And we've always said, everybody's welcome at our table until they're not welcome. And they're not welcome when they make terrible choices and behaviors, and then they're not welcome. And I think that's true of anything in life. So just be a good person.
Yeah, agreed. And I think they put it perfectly here of the, those who stubbornly refuse to abide, change, or not even change, just follow the respect. Exactly.
Yeah, it is really, I really do like that they've acknowledged it for a vocal minority, because these folks are vocal.
Yeah, and I think I want to believe they are the minority too.
I want to believe that they are a minority, as it's often, when sometimes you are observing them, or sometimes when you're on the receiving end, it's very easy to forget that that they may be a minority, smaller number of folks than we want to believe, and they are really just stubbornly refusing to abide by standards. They're really stubbornly refusing to abide by a set of rules that we would hope that folks with a sense of decency and self-respect, not just respect, but self-respect, and respect for others would want to abide by,
Agreed.
So, so I thought it was really cool to see that they were, that Spiel was willing to make this statement and put it out there. So, on that note, I think that this is a good way to wrap it up today. So I'd like to thank Sean and Dave for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us. Let's do it again for 2022.
Yes.
Sure. And we will maybe we'll live cast some of these games. once they come in from time well spent.
We're getting that train.
I'll get on it. Yeah, I'm working on. I will research that train one. That's
that's
top of the list. That might
signal very interesting.
Top of my to-do list tomorrow.
Cool.
Fantastic. I'll be at your house when you get it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See ya.